So you are selling your property and there's this thing called rent back or lease back, where you as a seller have an option to stay in the property that you're selling after closing. So let me explain everything to you right now. Hi, welcome back. This is Natalia Echeverri with Coldwell Banker, and I'm a real estate agent in Weston, Florida, and I serve the areas of West Broward, Miami. This is the area where I have the pleasure to live. So let me start with this. You are a seller, you are selling your property, but there might be many factors where you cannot just close and go. So there is this concept, it's called rent back or lease back, where you can rent back your property after closing. So you as a seller doing a lease back from that new purchaser or that buyer is a really good thing. Why? Because you will receive the proceedings and you receive the money of the house before even moving out. So you thinking of buying a house, you have plans for that money, you can start doing that while having a place to live, which is your own house. But for this, there is a couple of guidelines that we have to follow depending on the situation. If, for instance, that property is going to be financed and is going to have a loan, the purchaser, the new owner, has to live and the property has to occupy that property within 90 days of the date of purchase. In a few words, that lease back cannot exceed 90 days. Otherwise, there is a liability for the buyers or the person that is now in charge of that loan. Because think about it, what if that seller doesn't leave? What if that tenant stays more than 90 days? Who will be responsible for taking care of this issue if that happens? All these are risks that you have to take and consider before renting back if you are that new buyer, and things that you need to consider as a seller or a tenant now. This is a very simple situation when you're doing a lease back. It's just basically filling out a contract, just a lease contract, stating all the terms and conditions of that lease back, and that new owner of the property that you just sold will also let you know who will be taking care of what. Of course, most of the times you have to pay your electricity, your water, and all that. The insurance will be covered by them. But if you stay in more than a month or two, they might ask you for renter's insurance. Renter's insurance is very inexpensive, but at the time you're negotiating, you have to consider all this. So what is the difference between a lease back now and a lease back then, where the market was a little bit more normal? One was the rent back duration. So before, it used to be a couple of days, after the moving, or maybe 30 days. Now the buyers are willing to let you stay a little bit longer. And number two, lease back rates or no charge on that rent back is very common now. So how it is normally calculated is the new mortgage payment of that new buyer or the owner now, it is divided in 30 days. So for the amount of days that seller, or what used to be the seller, stays in the house, that will be multiplied for the number of days they're staying. And that's what they have to pay as a rent now. And so this is called a per day amount, and it's always done in a 30-day month calendar. So this is a great concept. This is a great solution for sellers thinking on selling their property, because they will have peace of mind and they will know that they don't have to rush the negotiation, buying another house, moving out of the house, things like that. So it is a good time to sell, take advantage of the market in many ways, price-wise, rent backs, terms, conditions, things like that. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will explain how this rent back works in your advantage. And thank you for being here with me. Don't forget to watch this video. I will see you next week.